Hello, good day. As I promised during the program, this is the class on CV writing, and then in this class I would explain what a CV is, what should be inside a CV, and also how you can write your CV. The video will be divided into 2 or 3 sessions, and the first part would be me just explaining what a CV is, what should be inside a CV, and things like that. And for that, I'll be using the CV writing PDF that is already on the website. If you don't have the PDF, you can go to the website to download it. Second part of the video would be me demonstrating how to write a CV. So even though we will not be starting from the scratch, we'll be using some templates, and then we'll be using like 3 platforms or applications. The first one, we'll use Microsoft Word, then we'll use Google Docs, and then we will use a website. The reason for that is that so that everybody can be able to do something, whether they have a laptop or they are just using your phone. If you have a laptop, it might be easier to use Microsoft Word, but if you are using a phone, it might be better or easier to use Google Docs. Also, if you don't know how to navigate Microsoft Word or Google Docs, then using the website might be easier, so you don't need to bother much about structuring, the CV or formatting and then things like that. Although the website has its own downsides, and then I would also mention that in the course of the video. Now, also, while doing all of that, I would also demonstrate how you can use AI while writing your CV and how AI can help you. Yes, the last part of the video would be about tailoring your CV. So even though now you've created your CV, I believe at the end of the video you should have created your CV. So even though you've created your CV now, it is not advisable to submit that same CV to every job you want to apply for. So there's something called tailoring your CV, and you should tailor your CV to each job you are meant to apply for. So I would also just demo something that is showing how you can use AI to help you tailor your CV to a specific job that you are applying for. So that's all that would be in the video. You should go to the website to download the Microsoft Word template or the Google Docs template, depending on which one you would be using. Those 2 are also on the website. And it's important to mention that even though this class is not a physical class like the one we had before, it should not deter you from learning as much as you can from this video. So don't just aim to watch the video. What you should do is to actually aim to actually practice, and at the end of you watching the video, you should have also created your CV. So plan to practicalize everything you are going to learn in this video. So that is it. Let's get into class. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, there would be a practical session, and for the practical session you can decide what tool you want to use to follow along. If you have a laptop, it might be easier to use Microsoft Word, though you can also use the Google Docs too. But if you have phone, it will be easier to use the Google Docs templates. So the first thing, let's define what a CV is and what a resume is. Then we also talk about cover letters. CV stands for curriculum vitae, and it means course of life. So it's usually longer. Basically, both CV and resume, they are used when applying for jobs, and they usually, most times, they look similar. But CV is usually longer, while resume might be shorter. And because the CV is meant to contain literally everything about academic and professional history or life, while resume might just be focused on a particular role you are applying for, just highlighting your really very, very relevant experiences and skills. For CV, we are applying for a government job or for academic appointment, maybe like a lecturing job, or even maybe you're trying to apply for a scholarship. You might need a CV. What you need will be longer if it contains like a lot of relevant information. While for resume, it's usually shorter. So if you are applying for maybe some tech jobs and all of that, what you need most times is your resume. Cover letter is another document that might be asked for when you're applying for jobs, but it is not usually asked for every job. So as the name implies, it is a letter, and then it might contain like 3 to 4 paragraphs. It's usually written to the hiring manager, though it's preferable if you know the name of the hiring manager, you can indicate the person's name. You are just trying to tell your story and particularly niche it down to that particular role and that company. You are explaining why you are the best for the job, why you like the company, why you want to work with the company, things like that. So, well, most times CV and resume can be used interchangeably when people put out job posts. Sometimes they say send your CV. Sometimes they might actually mean the resume and vice versa. So I would say the meaning is also not like set on stone. But when you see a job post, you might just be the one to sit down and decide which one of those two you should actually submit if you know your audience and you know the type of job we are talking about. So when it comes to writing a CV or writing a resume, two things are important: the content and then the structure. So talking about the content, the CV definitely contains different sections or different information like your personal information, your name, your role, your experience, your skills, your achievements, your certificates, and things like that. That is the content. But then it also has to do with the structure. So your CV can, contain all of those contents, good content, well written, but then the structure is very bad so that anybody that opens it will just feel like this person that prepared this is not serious or doesn't have attention to details and all of that. So both contents of your CV and the structure is very, very important and both should be on point. If you want to build your CV, there are different platforms or applications or tools that you can use. You can use Microsoft Word, you can use Google Docs, you can use Canva, though there's something called ATS, application tracking system. Some people do say that Canva or CV that is made from graphic design applications, they won't be passed very well that means the ATS will not be able to read the CV and extract the needed information. And what that means is that, so let's say 100 people applied for a job now. So those CVs will be subjected to an application. Let's call it an application, the ATS, this thing, and then the ATS will pick out the CV that actually that met the criteria for that particular job. So if the ATS is not even able to read your CV, then like it will definitely filter it out. So yeah, that is that. Okay, so then there are some websites where you can also build your CV, like flowcv.com. So flowcv.com is free, though it would only restrict you to create one CV with one account. So yeah, there are other websites which I would say that you should be careful. So when you go online and you say, oh, you want to build a CV or you want to build your resume, you see plenty websites that can help you. You just input your details and you have your fine, nicely written or nicely formatted CV. The only problem is that after you've put in all the work to get to kind of build the CV on the website, when you want to download it, they will now tell you that you should log in. When you log in, when you want to download, they now say you should subscribe. So to kind of prevent yourself from those stress, if you want to use a website, I know that this Flow CV is free, but you can only get one CV. So if you want to apply for another job, you might just edit that one. But if you are going to try another website, just make sure that you'll be able to download the CV from there for free. If not, you would have just wasted your time filling in all the information and all of that. Also, whatever tool you use, it's important that you download or import CV as PDF, except it is otherwise stated like when you're applying for the job. If it is PDF, the structure would remain and it will still look the exact way you sent it. Okay, so what goes into your CV? So this is talking to the content now. Your CV should have like an header section which should just have your full name, then maybe your phone number, your email, your state or city if you want, but not your full address, or maybe your country. It all depends. Then a link to your LinkedIn account, preferably that should be hyperlinked. You should not just paste the whole full link. It will not make it look nice. I'll show us how to do that so that from your CV they can go to your LinkedIn and check your LinkedIn account. The things you should not include: date of birth, religion, state of origin, marital status, passport photograph, Yeah, the reason why it's usually said that you should not include all of these things is because when you're applying for a job, the first thing they are seeing is your CV, and you want your CV to be crafted in such a way that there's nothing that can maybe make you to be discriminated in your CV. So maybe like date of birth, just because you are certain age, they might feel like, oh, we cannot employ this person. Same thing can apply to religion, state of origin, marital status. So anything that can make you to be discriminated, yeah, that's why they used to say, oh, don't put all of these things. And also because those informations are also not relevant to the job, at least to that phase. When you actually get the job, you definitely supply all of those information. But for now, they really don't need all those informations. The next thing is professional summary. Is just you saying one or two things about yourself, and then you are also trying to talk about the value you are bringing. Then your experience, that is also very, very important. So your experience just is talking about the places you've worked, when, and then the things that you've done or achieved in those places. So if you worked in a place from 2023 to 2025, and then you worked in another place from 2020 to 2023, and then another place from 2017 to 2020. So when you are writing your experience, the one you write first is the one for 2023 to 2025. Then that will be followed by the one for 2020 to 2023. Then that will be followed by the one for 2017 to 2020. I hope you get that. Then the next thing, you should also have your education, your degree, um, institution, graduation year, then your grades. If you graduated with a very good grade, maybe first class or second class or par, it's better to start from tertiary institution. So maybe university, masters, and all of that. So it's discouraged to put primary school or secondary school. But if the application or the job post indicate that you should put it, then you have to put it. Other things, we have skills certificates and referees also. Um, yeah, so we have hard skills and we have soft skills. Yeah, for referees, adding referee or not adding referee is dependent on you and then what the job post specifies. So what counts as the experience in your CV? Definitely your NYSC PPA, it counts as an experience. The things you did at your PPA, all of that can go into experience. If you've been teaching or tutoring students, that can also go into your experience. If you volunteered with an NGO, that can go into the experience section of your CV. There can also be a part for volunteering in your CV. So if you're active in CDS, that can work. If you've done any community health work or outreach, that can also work. Even if you are a freelancer or you've done some kind of businesses personally, that can also go into the experience section of your CV, depending on how you actually frame it. It is the framing that matters. So I just feel like I should mention this for roles that you know that were in the past, like jobs that I had done with already. Then you have to use past tense and you use keywords or action words like managed, coordinated, delivered, designed, conducted, trained, just past tense basically. But if you are still currently doing something, you are still currently in that role, then you have to use present tense like manage, coordinate, deliver, etc. For experience, you should start with action verb. So you see examples, then avoid using I taught students, like start with an action verb inside instead. So example, I manage a team. It's better to just say manage a team of 5 volunteers and stuff like that. Still the experience part of your CV. So you should actually highlight your experience in bullet points. And then those bullet points, they are not written randomly. There are different frameworks that you can use. So there's this XYZ method, and there's this car method, and there's this other one. So the major thing is there. All of this framework is just a way to help you to communicate value. You are not just meant to say what you did. So I dispense medicines. No, you are meant to frame it in a way that is not just saying what you did, but it's communicating the value or the impact of what you actually did. So this the formula for the framework, for the frameworks are here, and then we also have examples here. So you can pause the video at this point to read through all of this. Yeah, 3 to 5 bullet points per role is okay. So 3 to 5 bullet points. You don't need more than that. Even if you have five and you feel like the five is too much because you have, maybe 2 or 3 experience, and then you don't want the CV to be too long, you can still compress those key points together. Okay, I was going to say that you necessarily don't need to disturb your head in that sense of how you frame it yourself. You can use AI definitely. I believe you remembered what I mentioned, what I demonstrated during the training, how you can just talk to AI about what you did or what you are doing. And then, you will now also instruct it that, okay, so this is my experience at this work, at this role. This was what I did. Then you will also instruct it based on any framework that you want to use, or you can tell it to pick the perfect framework. So after you've explained everything, you'll be like, okay, so this is the experience. I need you to pick the best framework between this Google XYZ method, this CAR method, scope and scale. Pick the perfect one, and then rewrite this experience in bullet points based on the selected framework. So that way you know what you did. You already tell the AI what you did, then it will help you frame it in like a very good way for your CV. I hope you get that. So common mistakes to avoid while writing your CV. Your name should be at the top of the CV, not curriculum vitae. Also, I'll use this opportunity to mention this. It's very important to save your CV like accordingly. So recently I had to send out application for a particular like tell people to apply for a particular job, and then some people send their CV and the CV is named curriculum vitae. Like it's it's appropriate or better to name your CV appropriately. So name it according to your name. So okay, maybe Messi Olaoluwa. If you now like, you can add an underscore to indicate, oh, Messi Olaoluwa underscore data analysis, because that is more like, oh, this CV is for data analysis. You can even put underscore, maybe the data analysis underscore the company you're applying to, but at least your name should be there. I think I already mentioned that you don't need to include bio data like age, marital status, and things like that, unless it is requested for specifically that you should include it in your CV. Formatting, yeah, formatting still goes to the thing I mentioned about structure. Your CV can contain, like good content, everything, the things that you did, nice, but then it is not formatted well. So it needs to be formatted well. When you are sending your CV, send it out as a PDF instead of maybe a Word document. I already explained why. It's important that you use professional email address that likely contains your surname, your last name, and not just random email address. It's important to check for spelling, check for errors. Yeah, because if you submitted a CV and then we can see blunders in that CV, it just means that like the person is either not serious, or like the person doesn't have attention to details. Yeah, so you can just run the CV through an AI and tell it to check if there's any grammatical error, or you should use Grammarly. Yeah, so even after the practical session of this video, you would build a CV. So you build a CV, and then if you don't have a CV before, you would have a CV now. But when you're applying for jobs, it is not advisable to use the same CV to apply to several jobs. That is because a CV, or by CV now, I'm just mixing everything together. CV, resume, I hope you understand. It's important to tailor your CV based on the job you are applying to. So I'm a pharmacist now, but as a pharmacist, I can apply to different jobs. I can apply to work as a pharmacist in an hospital. I can apply to work as a pharmacist in a community pharmacy. I can apply to work as a pharmacist with an NGO. I can apply to work as an academic pharmacist with a university. To apply to those type of jobs, I would not use the exact same CV. That is because all of them, they would need different parts of my core skills or abilities, and the CV that I would use to apply for each job must actually reflect what the job needs or what the job requires. So if you are using the same CV for every job, you might be shortchanging yourself. You remember the 8 years thing I mentioned? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to advise is that you have a master CV, maybe like the one you created now. You can it can be like a general or a master CV that is always like a reference point anytime you want to apply for jobs. And then when you see a new job post, you can now tailor that CV to that particular job post, and you necessarily don't need to do all of this manually. You can do it manually. You don't need to do it manually. So if a particular job needs, like they said, they need certain skills, you might not have maybe named that skill the exact way that it was specified in that job description. So you can, change it and things like that. Anyways, so as I said, so you can do it manually that way, or you can also use AI. So what you need to do is just to upload your CV to the AI, or just copy the content of your CV and paste it into the AI, and also copy or upload the job description of the job you want to apply for also into the AI, and you'll be like, okay, this is my CV, this is the job I want to apply for. So you can prompt it any way you like anyway. So you can say something like, so now identify the strengths of my CV for this particular job post, and then identify the weakness. Now then let me know what I should change, what should stay, or what I should improve on. So the AI would identify things you need to change, things you need to remove, and all of that. We'll move on to the practical aspect now, and I'm using this template. I'm using this template. I'm just going to open it on my laptop. If you are following the class with your laptop, then you can also open the template. So this is the template, and then you have different sections in the template: professional summary, the experience, education, skills, certifications, then the referees, okay, your references. So if you open this, you just have to edit it. It's actually quite straightforward. So let's say let's assume I want to make, like, we want to create the CV for someone that is a pharmacist. Yeah, you can, put your own profession and all of that. So yeah, I'm just going to type in a random name. So you can just highlight what you have here already and just type in whatever you want to type in. So it was all caps locks before, so let's just make everything capital letter. Okay, then row that is relevant to the job you're applying to. This is very, very important. I had to review some CVs this last week, and the job is for more like someone that is into video editing, but then the person submitted a CV that is for an accountant. Like, how the two does not relate, and like, I don't think anybody would employ someone as a video editor when the CV they submitted is reflecting that they are an accountant. So yeah, so I'm just going to write pharmacist here. Then if I want to put my phone number, it's basically editing everything. Then email. Yeah, so this LinkedIn is important. So it should not be your name on LinkedIn. It should be the link to your LinkedIn account. And yeah, it should be the link to your LinkedIn account. How can you do this? So assuming you are actually accessing this on your laptop, yeah, you can go. If I remember, I'll demonstrate for phone too. So if you go to your LinkedIn, you're opening it on your laptop, you're on your LinkedIn account, you can click on your name here, click on your name, and then when you click on your name, actually this link is what you need. So I'm just going to copy this link. My one is looking very small because I have customized this before now. But if you need to, if you need to have something that is more reasonable and not the very long link, you just have to come here and then click on this pencil icon to edit it. I think it's only possible if you are using Pro, though I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. So even though I copy this now, some people would come here and just paste it here. Okay, Control Z. Let's say I deleted this. Okay, let's delete this, and then I'm just going to paste it. This link is not even long, so it still looks nice. The usual link is usually very, very long, so it might make this like everything messy. So what can we do? So let's say we still have LinkedIn written here. You would use something called hyperlink. So you just highlight what you want to add the link to. So I've highlighted LinkedIn, then I'm going to right click and then click on link. So here under the address here, that is where I'll paste the link to my LinkedIn account. So when I click on OK, what this means now is that anybody that I send this CV to, when they click on this LinkedIn, when they open it, it will take them to my LinkedIn account. I'll show us that later. So this is blue. Well, we can just ignore it, but you can change the font to black. It might change again, but anyways, that's that. Now, professional summary. So yeah, it's saying write 2 to 3 sentences that covers who you are, your top skills, blah blah blah. So okay, so you can simply just highlight this and delete it and type in whatever you want to type in, or just delete. Is deleting the line, so you can just maybe delete a bit and then write what you want to write. But I think I something that kind of already that is suitable for a pharmacist is here already. So I'm just going to, let's say I want to delete this part now. So I want to leave it pharmacist with 4 years of pharmacist with 4 years of experience. Skilled in this. Okay, so let's say that is what I want to input for my professional summary. So that is okay. Then for experience now, okay, so for the job title, I'll also highlight it and then input my job title. So let's say intern pharmacist, or let's put pharmacist. So this thing is there. Then the organization, so I'm just going to put the name of a random organization. So let's say it's an hospital XYZ hospital. And then I want to put the time. So here now, so let's say it's from, let's say, November 2023. Okay, yeah, November 2023. We don't need those square brackets. We actually don't need it, so you have to remove it when you're editing. So say if it's still present, you are still working there, then you will not put any duration here to be still present. And if there's a particular time that you stopped working there, also you'd put that. So let's say I'm still working there, it will be I've been present. And now the next thing, I have to put this bullet point that is highlighting what I did at my workplace, or at that particular workplace. So so I have this one already here. So let's say this is okay. So manage daily drug dispensing, conduct monthly community health talk, conduct weekly. So you're just editing what you have there. Most times you have to delete everything now and put your own information. So okay, yeah. most time you have to delete everything and put your own information. And I just don't want to repeat it. I showed us how to come up with these bullet points earlier during the training. So I hope we still remember that. So this place is telling us you don't need this, so we're just going to delete it, or you add more bullet points if you need to. If you need to add more bullet points. And yeah, so another job title. So this time around, let's say it is intern pharmacist. And then you have to put it has to follow the same format like what you have here. So the role, the organization, then the months. Let's say that was October 2022. We don't need this square bracket, so I'm going to delete them. So October 2023. And then I'm going to fill this up also with the same, like the necessary information, the bullet points. So education also, you come here and write your education, the degree, this BSc. Okay, let's just fill that. Put the institution and then the year of graduation, or like the period you were in school. Yeah, that can work too. So let's say I want to put the period I was in school now. So that can be something like 2018 to 2024. Okay. Then your course of study. Then you can put your grade if you want, or if it is high. So you can see that this template has several comments, like inline comments. Please make sure if you edit it, you delete those comments. Don't submit a CV and then people are now saying add more rows above this line as needed inside the CV that you've already submitted for a job, to just show that the person is like not serious. Okay. For skills, it is divided into hard skills and soft skills. So you might know the skills that are required in your field. You might not know. What you can do to actually know what you can put on that skills is you can check different job posts and then see the common skills. But let's I don't know the skills that are usually in the different job posts. So let's just say I'm going to AI to ask now. So I'm going to use perplexity and I'm just going to prompt it. Mm, okay, so I can see some that I can use here. Okay, let's type pharmaceutical inventory and stock management. Basically, I'll change all the other ones to, let's say this is an actual CV. Then here also team teamwork, attention to details. Also now to certifications. So if you have any certification that is relevant to the job, the role you are writing or making the CV for, you are going to add it here. So let's say this one is relevant now. I'll just remove the square brackets. So this is the name of the course or the name of the certification. This is the platform or the organization issuing the course, and this is the year certification was gotten. So this one is not necessary. Let's delete this one. We're also going to delete these comments. For reference, I'm just going to put available on request. Then I'll delete the other things here, and I'm done with editing this CV. But it doesn't stop at editing it. So you want to send this out to someone now. You want to send it out to apply for a job. No, you save it, and it's better to save it with a reasonable name, not CV template, not CV, not template 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are going to save it with the name. The main point is not the underscores that are important anyways. The main point is that the name of the CV, or what you save the CV as, makes sense. So let's say that is good. But now if you want to send this out now, it's not advisable to send it as this Word document. It is better to send it as a PDF. So how can you save this Word document as a PDF? So you come here to File and then click on Save As. Then here, change this from Word document to PDF. Then you save it to wherever you want to save the file to. So when you click on Save Now, you now have this as a PDF. So if I come here, and this is the Word document, and this is the PDF, the one with the red icon. So this is the PDF. The difference between the Word document and this is that this is kind of like rigid. If when you send it to someone and they open it, it's not going to scatter. Let me open the file with Chrome and show us. Open it. So when I click on this link now, it's just going to take whoever is viewing the CV to my LinkedIn account. So as I was saying, when it like that, the template that you provided for us is definitely not the only template that exists. So you can go to the internet and just search for Microsoft Word CV templates, and then you see several websites that have different templates. You open any one of them, and then if you see anyone that you like, you view it, and then you download it to edit it on your system. So that is that with the Microsoft Word templates. If for the Google Docs, so we are going to use this one. So this is not going to download anything, but when you click on it, it will bring you to this page, and then what you need to do is to click on make a copy. So when you make a copy, provided you are logged into your Google account, is going to create a copy of the CV in your drive, and then you can rename it as necessary, like as we talked about name it in the right way. It's just the same thing as we edited the Word document. You change the name, you change the professional summary, you put your own experience, you put the bullet point for the experience, basically the same thing. And for this one, if you want to save this as a PDF, then you come to File, then Download, then you choose PDF documents. So when you choose that, the file will be downloaded as a PDF. Okay, so basically that's it with the Google Docs. Same thing with the Microsoft Word template. If you also go online and then you search for Google Docs templates, Google Docs CV templates, you'd also see different Google Docs templates. Now for this one, let's just see. So if we click on one, you might not see the same make a copy whatever. So let's say I click on this one now. So you can see request access. You can see this means someone else is here. You don't edit it directly because this is not your file. This is in another person's Google Drive. If you edit it, you are just messing things up for every other person that will come and use this template later on. So if you are not taught to make a copy like the one I gave us, it's what you should do is to click on File, then click on Make a Copy. So this way, when you make a copy, the one you created just now is on your own Google Drive. It is your own. It is on your drive, and not like it's not available to the public. It's just available to you. I hope you get that. So lastly, let me talk about flowcv.com. So you see that when I was trying to edit these Word documents, like for example, when I try to delete something, it deletes that line, and I'm not sure how to return the line, how to like add the line again, because I'm not the one that created this. I don't know how they created it. Like, yes, that's it. So if maybe I don't know much about Google, about Microsoft Word, I cannot add the line. I don't know how to bold. I don't know how to edit things without deleting what I am not meant to delete. It might not be easy to actually even edit Microsoft Word without messing the whole thing up. So that is why a like an online platform like this flowcv.com might be useful. For this one, you just need to input your content alone, and then it will give you like the CV like ready made. The only issue here is that with the free one, if you don't pay, you will only be able to create one CV. Well, that same one CV, you can edit it as much time as you need to, but you will just be only to create one if you did not pay. You can see that when I was searching for CV templates, there are several websites that will tell you, okay, come and use this website and then create your CV. When you are done filling out the information, that's when they will now tell you to log in. And after you log in, they will now tell you that you come and pay before you can download it. So before if you are using another website that looks like this, before you fill in anything, just try to see if you can download that CV is like without them telling you to pay, or without them adding watermarks to it before you stress yourself. Anyway, so let's say I log in to this application now. So let's say, because I've used this for several CVs, I was able to create multiple ones because I have Pro on these accounts. Right, so if you already use one particular account and then you've created one CV, something else we can do is to actually just use another email to create a new account, if that is not going to be stressful. Yeah, so if you just open your account, this is what you are going to see. Then you can choose any template that you like. So let's assume I want to go with this template. I'm just going to click on this, then I'll choose use this template, start from blank. And now what I need to do is be filling all the information. So let's just fill it based on what we have before. Okay, so name, I just need to copy my name, then I'll put it here. Position or title, I'll put that here. My email, I'll put it there too. Phone number, current location, see there. Then now if I want to add my LinkedIn as I added, I just need to click on this plus, then I have to put the link. So yeah, now put the link and then click on done. You see, as I'm adding information, it's already building the CV. I don't need to bother about the formatting. It is just going to make it based on the template I selected. So when I click on add content now I want to add summary. I'll just also copy this summary and paste it. And okay, so I just want to add one summary, so no need to click on add entry. Next thing I want to add is experience. So I'll click on professional experience. And for the first one, the employer was XYZ Hospital. Job title. Then start date, November. So you just keep filling it, and then everything will be there without like much till present. So if you on this, if you like, you can put the location. Then description is where you now copy these bullet points. So the description, that's where you put the bullet points. So you don't need, okay, so I would delete these dots, okay, and I'll make sure each bullet point is starting on a new line. So you can now highlight everything here, then click on this, so that it's in form of a bullet point. So click on done, then add another entry by clicking on new entry. So to add another entry, you click on add entry. If you want to edit what you've done before, you click on this, you click on it to edit it. So job title here, intern pharmacist. As I said, you don't need those dots. You would add its own bullet point. Just make sure that each one is starting on a fresh line. Each bullet starting on a fresh line. Okay, so we are good with those two experience. Then click on add content again. Then you can let's add education. So the name of the school, and then actually your education can also have bullet points. But let's say I'm not putting any bullet points here. So if you maybe let's say you have maybe you have another one, let's say polytechnic, you put it, or masters, you put it. Okay, now it has to be arranged also just like the experience in a chronological order. So the earliest one first. Let's assume this is a master's degree. Then you can drag it and put it at the top. Okay. So I'm just going to you can hide it. I'm just going to hide it so that it's not showing here. So we want to add something else, which is skills. So I'll click on skills, enter skills. So you have to now put these ones one by one. I believe skill level. I think is better to ignore skill level. It's really not indicating the skill level, but you don't have to fill it. Okay, so then you want to add another skill. You might decide to add another. To add another skill, just click on add entry and then you put in the other skill. So you can see it is updating it. So let's say we are done with skills and then we want to add certifications. You see certificates and then we want to add this one. Okay, just copy the name of the certification or certificates and other information. Yeah, so you can update it to add others. Reference. So we've just copy and pasted all the details. Let's go back here now. So as you're adding, you are seeing the preview of what you are doing. So if you, let's say you read through and then you see that, oh, it's okay. When you click on download, it will actually be downloaded as a PDF also. So it will be downloaded as a PDF. And then another thing you can do here is that when you click on this, you can get a link that you can share. So if people view this link, if you send it to anyone, they can view your CV online. Something like that is available for Google Docs also. Yeah. The next part of the training, I would be showing us how to use phone for this Flow CV and then for Google Docs too. It's very similar, or it's even the same thing, but there might just be some different things because of the different size of the device. So I'll show us that in the next section of the video. If you are using phone, and then you want to use the Google Docs template. So you just need to come to this website, to this link. I believe you have the link already. Come to the link, and then let's go back to the home page. So this is the link. Then click on this and click on training files. So if you go down, you see this CV template underscore Google Docs. So let's click on the download. Then you come here, make a copy. Click on make a copy. If you are not logged in to your Google account, that's the Gmail, it might prompt you to log in. So what you are looking at now, you cannot edit it this way. For you to edit it, you click on these three dots here, and then select request desktop site. So when I was trying to edit this before, it asked me if I would like to asked me if I would like to open it on Google Docs. So though I can't find the option, it's possible you find the option. If you cannot find the option, is not an issue. But what you can do instead is for you to actually go to the app that you just downloaded, the Google Docs app, and open it. Just search for CV. So far you are logged in on the same account. Okay, you will see the CV that you've copied. You see copy of CV right on the screen of this last opened by me. So you see it there. If you don't see it, please, you can just search for CV, and then you will see the template just made that you just made a copy for. So if you click on it now, then you click on this pencil icon, and then now you can easily edit this on your phone without stress. So if I just double click, if I click here now, I can highlight everything, and then just type my name. Okay, and everything you need to edit basically it's easier than using Chrome. So you just come here and then edit it. If you need do to 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 go back, like maybe you want to undo, just click on this, and then it will undo. You would have, and whatever you delete, you would have it back. So I will not take us through how to edit again. You already know. You change the job title, you change the role, you change all of those things one by one. And then when you are done, you just click on this mark, and then that's the final CV. You can click on these three dots, page setup. So we can change this to A4 paper, and I think that's okay. So now, how do you download as a PDF on your phone? Print. Okay. So the PDF, and you can click on this and then save to file. So you just name it as you need to name it, change the name, and then click on save. So I believe that should be in your file now. So let's go and look for it. Okay, it's there actually. So this is the PDF that I just exported. So if you want to use Google Docs, or if you have a Google Docs template, you can easily edit it with your phone. That's how that works. Okay, if you are using phone and then you want to use this link flowcv.com, it's still the same link. You will just have to go to flowcv app.flowcv.com. That's where you need to go, and then when you go there, you would come to this page probably after you have registered, and then the first thing you need to pick a template. So to pick a template, let's say I like this one, I'm going to select this particular template. So I picked a template, click on use template, start from blank. So, and then I'm going to type my name, and then you put your email. You put your phone number. Maybe if you want to put anything there. When you click on done, you filled that part.
Then if you click on menu here and preview, you see what you just filled, how it is updating one by one. So now I can click on add content, and let's say I want to add summary. Just ignore that is probably nonsense. I'm not sure what is happening here. Click on done. Then you want to add another thing. Education. So the name of the degree, and then school. To be the full name of your school. For start date, let's assume I want to put here. I would put the year. Because I want to put here only. Then any description that I want to put, I would put it here. So add content. If you have more than one education, you add other ones there. If you later do not use one, you should be able to delete, but you can just off it. So you add professional experience, add everything. As you're adding it, it's going to be updated in. It's going to be updated. When you click on preview, you'd be seeing the updates. And when you are done, you just click on download, and then you choose any option, and you have to log in, or you send it to your email, and you have your PDF also. So that's how you can use this website to create your CV on your phone without stress. But you know that after creating one, you cannot create another one, but you can edit that one to whatever you want. So if you come here and click on customization, you see several options to customize your CV. Yeah, there are several options. You can even choose another template. You can choose two column or mix, whatever you like, basically. So you can, this applies to if you're using your laptop, so you see the customization option, and you can just, tweak any of one of these to suit what you want. And as you are tweaking it, change colors, change whatever you like. You can always come here and check the preview. So the last part of the video is going to talk about CV optimization. So after you have like a general or multi-purpose CV, then you can always optimize that particular one based on the job you want to apply for. For example, let's say I'm a data analyst, and I want to apply for this particular role now. I'm just going to come here and see that okay, this is the job description, and I also have my own CV here. So even though this is also a data analyst CV, it can need more optimization, or I might need to tailor it more to fit that particular job post. What I'm going to do is I can use AI to identify the gaps so that I can improve on that particular part of the CV. The point is that when you submit your CV, like is that CV, that's the only thing they can see. So the CV has to be very good so that at least they can call you for an interview, and then you can take it up from there. But if the CV is eliminated, then like the opportunity will be lost totally. That's why as much as possible, like the CV has to be like very good. Okay. So I'll first come here and then put a prompt here. So the prompt is quite basic. So act as this is the role, then the task, and then the things it is meant to do. So I'm going to put the job post, and I also paste in my CV. You can also just upload your CV, but I'm going to just copy the content and paste it. So for the job post, I'm just going to come here and copy everything. So I'll just copy it, the job description, then I'll paste it under this part. You don't have to use this exact prompt, you can use something else. Then for my CV also, I'll come here and then paste. You can upload the CV as I said, but I'll just copy everything and then I'll paste it. Okay, and when I send this now, it would, okay, so let's see. So now it has highlighted some key points that are not in my CV that I can go and add to my CV. Data quality, all of this are the things that I need to actually incorporate into my CV. Hopefully, if I actually have those experiences, and then so it has highlighted the missing keywords, all of which I can add in strategic places in my CV. Okay, then it's telling me something that can actually that are not relevant at all to this particular role. So it actually, created another CV sort of that has incorporated all those details. Though this one I cannot use this anyways. I have to go back to the templates I used to create this CV, and I'll just edit the template and then either copy what it has directly. I might try to humanize it, or I just add the keywords however I want to add it. So that's how you can actually optimize your CV for a particular role instead of sending generic CV to every job.
Thanks for staying till this point. I hope you were able to learn one or two things. That is all for this class. If you have any question, you can drop it on the group and I will try to attend to it. Bye.